Hello everyone, this is Matthew once again. It is now 10:48 p.m. here in Texas. It's still cold, and happy Halloween. So, yep, it's really that time for this month. And I know all you're going to go out and go trick-or-treating, get your candies and all and so on and so forth, and maybe watch some more scary movies, which I know I am because I'm about to watch some of the Halloween movies, which has the original 1978 classic by John Carpenter, its sequel, Season of Witch, and take a look back at the 2018 movie that ignores all the Halloween movies but make this as a follow-up to the first Halloween film. I'm sorry I didn't review any of those other horror movies as well as the Halloween films, but hey, there's always a next Halloween, especially I didn't review that much, especially I got behind on reviewing the Batman films until I finally got that taken care of, and I got to review, of course, some horror films such as The Shining, Shaun of the Dead, The Blair Witch Project, The Sixth Sense, The Mummy, and of course Alien. And now I'm going to review one more horror movie for you, and then I'm going to call it a day. And then later on, I'll review more of the Batman films by Christopher Nolan, which I'll review those. And I want to review some other movies in November that I feel like I want to do it for the occasion. So, especially I know one movie I'm going to re-review, which I won't say, but you'll see it till maybe November the 17th or, well, just keep an eye on my channel if you've been following it. Always be sure to subscribe. But anyway, without further ado, what movie I'm going to review, just to tie up all the loose ends, as today is the last day of October, and we enter the first day of November, and then later on there'll be daylight savings. Well, here's the movie I have chosen. A movie that came out 12 years ago in a film festival, and then it got a wide release in 2009, and now I'm about to review a movie that's 10 years old. The one and only Paranormal Activity. Yep, that's right. Paranormal Activity, the movie I selected, which according to the Blu-ray I have right here, contains all the Paranormal Activity films, such as Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, Paranormal Activity 4, and of course you get Paranormal Activity the Mark 1s, and Paranormal Activity the Ghost Dimension. Of course, yeah, there's talks of another Paranormal Activity film, which I'm not sure if we need another one, because I thought Ghost Dimension was already the last one to begin with. But we'll see, I really don't know. Of course, I told you know, of course, I actually have heard more about these films, of course, which I do remember particularly mostly the first movie, which, of course, I did not go see this movie in the theaters, especially I never saw any found footage movie on the big screen, never ever experienced one in my entire life. And, of course, I only saw the first movie, believe it or not, on Netflix, which, like, it happened around, like, 2010, which that's the year that I graduated from high school from. I saw it on Netflix on the Nintendo Wii, and I was in my room, all by myself, without having one involved. I just closed all the curtains, turned the lights off, just get that home theater experience, and I was all alone in the dark, and when I watched this movie for the first time on Netflix, it really scared the living daylights out of me, especially that ending. And I know the ending itself, I know it turned a lot of people off when they saw that which I'll get to. You want to know who's responsible for that ending, of course. But I have seen some of the other endings. The other ending where she just slides her arms throat. The original ending, from what I saw that was shown in the film festival, really does make sense, of course. But I'm still perfectly fine with the theatrical ending. And I know there's some out there who actually don't mind the theatrical ending as well. And I like the theatrical ending, which it did scare me. It did give me at least one more scare factor for the movie. At least I got that. So, Paranormal Activity is a $50,000 low-budget film directed by Oren Peli and stars Mika Sloan and Katie Federson, which tells the story of these two middle-aged class couple as they live in this house together, and they are about to be engaged, and of course, all of a sudden, they have this strange, unusual in the house. That's something that's very supernatural. And then, of course, Mika decides to purchase a camera just to know what's going on with the situation here, and they realize they have some sort of a demon that's sort of like disturbing them as they're trying to sleep and just ruining their peaceful time, especially messing around with this one girl that Mika really loves. Essentially, the mystery behind it, what's going on with it. Which, of course, we do explore more of that in the sequels. But this is why you don't even know what this thing is trying to do. So, for Paranormal Activity, here's how the backstory went. Orrin Pelly's inspiration for this film was his influence of three one of the horror films that really do scared him very much, for films like The Blair Witch Project, The Exorcist, as well as Ghostbusters. Even that movie really scared him because of his fear of ghosts. And then, of course, like The Blair Witch Project, the film itself really contains no screenplay whatsoever, as Orrin Pelly wanted the dialogue sound feel more natural, so that the actors can improvise all their scenes and what direction they're supposed to be given. And we come to, of course, like I said, about like who was responsible for this ending. Well, to answer all your questions, it was really Steven Spielberg's idea, who suggested the ending should be changed when he saw the film, which he viewed this movie all by himself, which that sounds like a funny story right here. Especially, I don't believe it goes at all. He actually did watch this movie all by himself in his own home, and all of a sudden he just got locked in and had to get a locksmith in order to get him out of the room. And Spielberg told Orrin Pelly he really saw the film, watched it for the first time as a home screener copy, and really loved it. But made one suggestion that the ending should be changed for the film to at least have one more scare factor. So that's how the ending got changed here. So it's really Steven Spielberg's idea, which I know people really get tired of Spielberg with all the choice he makes, where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I really don't blame the guy at all, especially I'm a big fan of the guy's work, so I really can't say I blame him at all. So, but sometimes you always got to give other people a break here when it comes to a creative choice and all. I mean, even there's nothing wrong with creative choice. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it is what it is, just how Hollywood is. Because creativity is really important. And of course, the film was shown at a Screenfest Film Festival on October 14, 2007, but doesn't get released until September 25, 2009, as it opened to really very good reviews by critics. It became a box office by grossing $107.9 million against its $50,000 budget. The film itself, unfortunately, did not gain Oscar nominations whatsoever, but it did include the updated book version of Stephen J. Schneider's 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. Now, aside from the ending, the movie still did feel pretty much the most realistic thing today when it comes to doing a found footage movie that doesn't involve anything like Cloverfield or any giant monster or superhero, all that stuff. This one comes close to that's being real. And again, I really don't believe in ghosts at all, but of course I know that I am a Christian man myself. I do know there are demons out there, especially those who read the Bible, of course. But aside from that, from my face here, the Blair Witch Project, of course, is the one that felt more like the realistic thing that doesn't involve any special effects, and instead it's really more the mystery of whether or not there is a Blair Witch out there or there is no Blair Witch at all. But this one, of course, aside from that ending, the movie still is realistic enough for what it can be, despite the ending. And again, I have no problems with the theatrical ending whatsoever. I have no problem with Steve Spielberg making this kind of choice, because the ending really did scare me to death. And I thought both of the actors did great. Kate Federson and Mika Slow both did great. They felt very natural. They had like real couple, and you really buy that. And of course, yes, they do argue, of course, on how to deal with the situation here. And I know one character makes dumb choices, which I know the character, or actually Mika Slow, gets a lot of bad rap because of like, oh, he's an idiot. He got the Ouija board and this and that. But to me, he was just trying to do what he can in order to deal with the supernatural stuff, especially by his defense. No one's ever experienced this before, and especially he doesn't know what this thing can do, so he's trying to figure out a way how. So this was like new to him, and he's trying everything he can. Even though he's not a perfect guy, he at least is doing everything he can here. And Kate, on the other hand, she was trying to stick by the rules, of course, but sometimes, of course, this demon that they're dealing with doesn't make any rules whatsoever. It can just do whatever it wants. It really has a strong presence where it doesn't need to be shown whatsoever. And the movie works well like Blair Witch Project. The film doesn't have any music whatsoever. And I thought the tension, the suspense, and the atmosphere of the film, especially this is a self-contained movie that only takes place in the house only, is pretty well executed. And the scare factors are really fantastic. And they're really well done. And I thought Orrin Pelly really nailed that apart, because it was definitely one heck of a first film to get to start off with that's pretty much like very low budget, and all of a sudden it just became the biggest hit of his career. And that's the movie he's only well known for. When you think of Orrin Pelly, you think of him as director of Paranormal Activity, and that's about it. And after that, they haven't gotten on to do other things here. The director hasn't made that much films other than Area 51. Mika Slow is just doing music. And Katie Rivera's in, I guess once in a while she'll pop up. So I really don't know what's their next film going to be for those two. But it definitely makes you have this feeling that you really want to see them to do more. Especially for the director here. So yeah. That's all I can say about Paranormal Activity, except if you've not seen the film, please feel free to check it out. It definitely is one of my favorite films of 2009. It's definitely one of the best horror films ever made. And definitely one of the best found footage films I ever watched. And yes, of course, as always, with that same great rating I always keep giving other films, it really earns itself an A+. I really respect y'all for those who really do not like the film's theatrical ending, the way it's presented. But to me, I have no problem with the theatrical ending whatsoever. And yes, of course, the original ending does make sense, but the only downfall is they didn't include the original ending for this film. They don't. Instead, you get either the theatrical ending and the alternate ending, which you just... So it would have been great if you had the original ending on this Blu-ray, and you could watch whichever movie you watch. Especially when you think of the movie like Clue, it gave you 3 different endings, so I just don't know why that film couldn't give you the option where you hit play movie, but you pick whichever ending you want, other than just give you the random ending. This one, of course, it leads to give you the option of which ending you'd rather watch as you watch the entire movie. So yeah, the original ending should have been included, and especially I would have loved this film that would have some features on how this film came to be, what made him want to make this film, and what made it so iconic, and so on and so forth. Because there's a lot of things you could talk about Paranormal Activity, so if Oren Peli is watching this, I just gotta say, I really love your movie and would love to see this film to get some special features. And maybe have the original ending included so you could have 3 versions to watch, either the theatrical, the alternate, and the original. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's my review of Paranormal Activity. I really love this movie. If you have not seen it, feel free to check it out. So anyway, that concludes some of the movies I reviewed that deal with horror. So, and I hope you enjoyed them, and let me know what you think of my review of Paranormal Activity. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Feel free to put your comments down below, and don't forget the subscribe button. So thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you guys later. Thank you, and have a happy Halloween. Ooh. See ya.